I was recently asked what's the difference between bespoke curtains and ready-made curtains, and I'm lucky enough to be able to show you today a pair of curtains that I've just finished for one of my customers and a pair of ready-made curtains that have been provided to us by our landlady. So first of all, just like to talk about how the curtains hang. As you can see from the bespoke curtain, it has a really lovely drape to it. It's got a lovely fullness, it feels very nice. And this is because I put some penny weights down at the bottom, and it's also interlined with a lovely blankety interlining, which gives it a bit more weight. On the other hand, the curtains are only fabric and lining. There's no interlining in it, and there are no weights. It doesn't really have enough weight to give it that beautiful drape. Obviously, this curtain isn't made for this window, but it will fit my customer's window absolutely perfectly. This curtain was bought for this window. But as you can see, there's a radiator beneath it, and the curtain does interfere with the radiator. It really ought to have been higher to allow the radiator to distribute heat around the room. This curtain has that lovely interlining that I spoke about. That gives it a lot of extra thermal properties, which is what you want in a curtain. This curtain, on the other hand, really is quite lacking in thermal properties. It doesn't really provide much extra warmth to the house. Now, most curtain makers, like me, will use superior quality materials. So the interlining that we use and the lining are all just as beautiful as the fabric that we work with. I don't know if you can see on the back of the curtain that lovely interlining. It's beautifully thick, and it has a lovely sheen to it. It looks really, really luxurious, and it looks just as beautiful on the back of the curtain as it does on the front. This one, on the other hand, they've used a really, really cheap lining. It's very thin. I don't know if you can see, if I put my hand in it, it's quite transparent. And it just really gets dirty and looks old very quickly. Now, bespoke curtain maker also, the quality of the workmanship is far superior. We generally hand finish our products. So all the sewing around the back is beautiful and visible stitching. There's no visible stitching on the front of the curtain. Whereas with ready-made curtains, quite often they keep the price low because they use a sewing machine, and more often than not you can see the stitching on the front of the curtain, which is quite ugly. When I take my curtains to my customer, I'll dress them in for her. Actually, for at least 24 hours before I take them to my customer, they're hanging in my workroom and all tied up to train the pleats, so that when my customer opens and closes her curtain, they will always go back into these beautiful pleats for years and years and years. A really good quality made curtain should last 20 years. You'll be replacing it because you're fed up and you want an upgrade in your look rather than your curtains have worn out.